Fox News, CNN, and other news outlets urge White House to drop the ban on the AP. Huh. For those of you who haven't been paying attention, the Associated Press has been barred from White House press events because their editorial guidelines direct them to refer to the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of Mexico. Or like they refer to them as both, the Gulf of Mexico / Gulf of America. Basically, like day one of the administration, the Trump and Levitt, they were like, let's make an example out of the Associated Press. Let's go after the most neutral news organization there is, basically, and target them and say like, no, you need to kiss our feet. The other news agencies basically just use footage from AP. Well, yeah, AP's everywhere. This is happening because all of mainstream media rely on and copy off AP's reporting, so this fucked over Fox News, CNN, and everyone, so they can't allow this. That is very funny that they would go after like such a bedrock. The AP's not exactly neutral. Well, there's no such thing as neutral news. No, of course not. And they, were plenty misrepresentative, especially with regard to Gaza, but so was everyone, I guess. Except for me. AP just sued the administration. From AP News. AP News sues 3 Trump administration officials citing freedom of speech. Nice. Well, that's fun. Well, Friday afternoon, U.S. District Court. Oh, yeah. The press and all people in the U.S. have the right to choose their own words and not be retaliated against by the government. Somebody hasn't been following the news. We don't have a First Amendment anymore. Sounds a bit woke DEI to me. Yeah. Yeah, I don't disagree. White House did not respond to a request for comment. Dude, Newsmax too? Fox and Newsmax? I'm sorry. The letter, which was coordinated by the White House Correspondents Association and delivered on Monday, was signed by 40 outlets. It said the decision to bar the Associated Press was, quote, an escalation of a dispute that does not serve the presidency or the public. Fox News, that's one thing. There are neocons who work at Fox News. Newsmax is really funny. We can understand President Trump's frustration because the media has often been unfair to him, glaze, glaze, glaze. But Newsmax still supports the AP's right as a private organization to use the language it wants to use in its reporting, a Newsmax spokesman said in a statement. We fear a future administration may not like something Newsmax writes and seek to ban us. Holy shit! Finally! It's that argument, but from the other way around! I can't believe it! After hearing this from liberals for years and years, finally, they realized, no, they're also wrong. Are you kidding me? You think that a Democratic president would, because Trump did something audacious and anti-free speech, they would have the balls to do it themselves? No, they're also wrong. That's funny. Dark woke would do it? Yeah, but they're not dark woke. That's funny. Didn't Biden literally throw journalists out for no reason? No, that was because they were ugly. I don't remember what you're talking about. I'm sorry. The Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press on Thursday released a separate letter it had sent to Susie Wiles, the White House chief of staff, which was signed by more than 30 news organizations and asked for the restoration of the AP's access to the press pool. The many news organizations reporting on the White House have varied editorial approaches, but all have the same collective interest in ensuring that no one is excluded based on their constitutionally protected choices. That's nice. That's nice. On Friday, Taylor Budowick said on a post on Twitter the Trump administration would indefinitely bar AP journalists and not give them access to spaces such as the Oval Office and Air Force One. Fuck you, the Times. I'll just read it from here. While their right to irresponsible and dishonest reporting, what did I say? Air Freiler? What did I say? Taylor Budowick, ex Trump administration, indefinitely bar AP journalists. Did I say Air on Freiler 1? Ooh. Oh, I said Freiler instead of Friday. Oh. This realization has not uncooked my brain at all. It does not ensure their privilege of unfettered access to limited space. I wonder if there are any old guard journalists in the Associated Press who are going to end up having more balls than the Democrats, and they're going to end up being the vanguard of legal resistance. Oh, the lawsuit from AP happened 9 minutes ago. I didn't realize. That's like an update. Okay. I knew it was Friday. I didn't realize you threw that one at me basically on the get-go, All right. The Onion and AP will save free speech. I mean, anyone but the Democrats, right? Before we go over the CPAC thing, let's just make sure we're caught up on everything major that's happened. ICE's acting director has been reassigned. The top official in charge of carrying out Trump's mass deportation agenda has been reassigned after the administration voiced concerns the deportation effort isn't moving fast enough. Are you kidding me? It's been 1 month. That's not even long enough to assess whether or not... Okay, so my guess is that Trump and Elon are basically saying, like, why haven't you built the death camps yet? And the director is like, I'm really sorry, but I can't do that. And so they're replacing him with somebody who says they can. Yeah, not enough people dead yet, basically. Update in Eric Adams trial. I mean, they dropped it, didn't they? Judge vacates upcoming Eric Adams corruption trial, but appoints conservative attorney to argue against dropping the case. Okay, whatever. Whatever. Is the thumb that was talking with Eric Adams still safe? Homan? Yeah. He's the czar. He's not the acting director. Trump signals he's open for multiple budget bills, backing away from preference for one big beautiful bill. Damn. Don't we have some of the initial budget proposal? Don't we already have a little bit of sauce there? Senate Republicans approve budget framework. Here we go. Pushing past Democratic objections after all-night vote. Yeah, it's like around $4 trillion already. $340 billion budget framework to passage early Friday, chugging through an all-night session and Democratic opposition in a step towards unleashing money the Trump administration says it needs for mass deportation. Board of Security top their agenda. The hours-long vote-a-rama rambled along in a dreaded but crucial part of the budget process as senators considered one amendment after another, largely from Democrats trying to halt it. But Republicans used their majority power to muscle the package to approval on a largely party-line vote, 52-48, with all Democrats and one GOP senator opposing it. Glad, at least, that all the Democrats opposed it. Doesn't mean much, but, you know, using all-night debate. With little power in the minority to stop the onslaught, Democrats instead used the all-night debate to force GOP senators into potentially embarrassing votes, including the first one on blocking tax breaks to billionaires. It was turned back on procedural grounds, so were many others. Long, drawn-out fight, only the beginning of what could be a months-long debate. This bill doesn't have the cuts, only the House one? Yeah. What's in the Senate GOP package? Let's find out together. $175 billion to be spent on $175 billion in addition to $150 billion boost to the Pentagon. Yep. That sounds about right. Bro, that's nothing. No, that's a lot, actually. That's a lot, actually. $175 billion to be spent on border security plus an additional $150 billion to the Pentagon. That's actually a lot. $5 per egg. Yeah. Waiter, more military spending, please. Isn't that like half a discretionary spending? Yeah, we can borrow more. We'll just take it out of Medicaid. Don't worry. The budget will allow us to finish the wall, more border agents, more detention beds. It means more deportation flights. That's great. Yeah. Republicans insist the whole thing will be paid for rather than piled onto debt. I believe you. One amendment that was accepted after several hours of debate was actually a Republican effort to fend off criticism that the package would be paid for by cutting safety net programs. The amendment from Sullivan, Republican Alaska, said Medicaid and Medicare would be strengthened during the budget process. I believe you. So what, you're going to take it from Social Security? I bet you the wording of this, I mean, it's only the beginning. This is going to be months and months and months. They're going to remove that. There's no way. There's no way. Democrats brought a slew of amendments, voted to prevent tax breaks for billionaires, but they're the Democrats don't have a majority, so they can't do shit, basically. They can just delay and hold up time, which is good. They should do that. Senators processed almost 36 amendments on reversing DOGE cuts, protecting federal workers from being fired, ensuring U.S. support for Ukraine as it battles Russia and others. And what do we have on the, one second, what do we have? So that's the Senate. What do we have on the House? Is there any new news on the House? Or is it just the Senate resolution or the Senate framework that's been moved forward? Okay, it's just the Senate, it looks like. House is struggling to pass through. Yeah. So nothing new from the House. Okay. I mean, we do have this. Trump backs House GOP bill slashing $1 trillion from Medicaid and food stamps. We did talk about this though. And no, guys, don't worry, okay? It's not cutting $1 trillion from Medicaid, okay? What it's doing is mandating that the organization that oversees Medicaid and basically nothing else cut $1 trillion from its spending. So if that organization cuts from Medicaid, that's not stipulated in the budget cut, okay? That's just what they chose to do in order to meet the goal. How likely is it they deal with the debt ceiling before March? God, I don't know. Unparalleled incompetence from this government. Basically, Dems keep forcing in crazy amendments to slow this down and force it into its law. Good. I mean, good. I want like relentless obstructionism from the Democrats, you know? Fight started on the Kansas House floor Thursday during a gun debate. Gun debate. The incident happened during debate over House Bill 2104, which would require school districts to implement an NRA program known as Eddie Eagle in public elementary schools, starting in kindergarten, if the schools want to teach gun safety. Yep, that sounds like an American. Yep, that sounds like an American Kansas House bill to me. I mean, teaching safety could be good though, right? I just don't think kindergartners need to handle or really know anything about guns. I reject the anachronistic bullshit argument that like every American needs to be handling firearms from 5 years old and onward because it's like a super important tool in your day-to-day life, which no, it's not. It's not. It's not. What are you, if you're like a farmer, you're in the sticks, what are you using a gun for? Like a coyote? Oh, okay. Come on. It's not the Wild West. Toddlers shoot themselves in accident fairly often. Well, they probably shouldn't be holding guns. Toddlers probably shouldn't be holding guns. Also, gun safety training doesn't take that long. It's not that complicated. The idea, oh, they need to be educated from the beginning. Handling a car is way more complicated than gun safety. Gun safety is genuinely like literally a one-day lesson. As long as you take it seriously. Okay. It takes years to get good at driving, okay? We're not talking about crack marksmanship here. Like gun safety? Just, the goal here is to groom children to like the NRA, okay? Yeah, it's just a way of funneling money into the NRA. Honestly, 90% is just making sure you don't shoot yourself or other people, yeah.